Hey everybody, welcome to Red TV. Hope you like our brand new intro because we love it. My name is Dave, I'm one of your hosts, and
my name is Gil. I'm your other host. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We want to know, where are you streaming from? What's your area? If you're from one of our 6 campuses, tell us. Are you from Ohio River? Are you from Ohio River, Mount Nebo, Butler, Northside, Deer Lakes, Hampton? I got them all. Sometimes I stutter a little bit there. But all 6 of them, if you're tuning in from one of them, tell us in the chat below. Or if you're watching somewhere else in the country or the world, tell us that too, because we want to know where you're watching from.
We're just glad that you're joining. We're also glad that we have our special moderators joining because they're in the chat right now with you.
What's up?
What's up, girls?
So let's, for everyone who's watching, you're just maybe catching them for the first week, but Becca and Anastasia, can we just pause for a moment and talk about how amazing your camera quality is? I don't understand it. Whose phone is this?
Mine. No.
We're gonna use this one every week. Sorry to Meredith's phone. Your phone's garbage. You're fired.
Wow. Funny. I'm on Instagram on my computer so I can comment, and it's so weird.
It looks so good. I love it. Now, here's the thing you need to know about our moderators if this is your first time with us or first time in a while. They're there to get to know you. They're there to answer questions that you may have about Red. So feel free to ask them. But here's the thing. They want to get to know you a little bit too. And here's the question they want to ask you this week.
All right, guys. What activity are you most looking forward to this summer? You gotta let us know in the chat.
Yes, and actually, while we're on that note, let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. What are you most excited for this summer?
I'm most excited for a bonfire, or maybe 2, maybe
Just
a
2.
few bonfires.
That's good. What about you, Anna?
I really want to travel. I want to go to the beach. I've only been to the ocean once, so.
What? That's actually really good.
You know, you better be planning to wear some kind of aquatic mask because the beach police are going to be coming for you.
So you can just wear a snorkel. Like you have it there, it'll be fine.
Just like a scuba thing, but like that's it, like just above ground, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you're here, and we're so excited for this next segment. It's going to be the hypest of all hype. Check this out.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the table. We call this table right here Fish Slap. That's right here. Now, you might not know, but I actually was a highly recruited dealer all growing up.
He was. I actually remember seeing him like he almost went pro.
Want to see?
Did you visit many casinos?
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that.
So I am your highly qualified dealer.
Can we get that back in slow-mo?
No, we can't. Okay, so we're gonna ignore that. That was incredible. These are our 2 contestants. So what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna play a little high-stakes poker, except it's not poker. It's blackjack. And instead of blackjack, it's fish slapping. Okay, I should explain the rules. So each player will get dealt 2 cards. Their goal is to not go over 21, but come as close as they can to 21. If they win, meaning they have the closest number to 21 without going over, they get to slap the other person with a fish. Now, we just ordered these fish, and I was not anticipating how bad they smelled. You guys have not...
Nor how slimy they look.
You guys haven't had the opportunity. Pick them up, get to know them. Can we get a name for these guys in the chat?
Yeah. Can
Oh my gosh, I don't know if
Team Sean, name my fish. I don't even think I can pick it up.
Pick it up.
Okay, you gotta go for the hook method. Go for
Ew.
It's so slimy. All right, give it a little wiggle, Sean.
Wiggle.
Oh my gosh. So you're gonna get slapped with that.
Okay, what's his name?
Oh, that's incredible.
What's his?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I want the chat to name him.
Oh, it's
Well, how are you gonna know what the chat's name
I don't
is?
know.
Okay, mine's name is Charles.
His neck is already falling off.
Dude,
Ew.
got aesthetic.
Okay, all right, put your fish down. So you will get to slap the other person.
Oh no!
Our nice table. Dang it.
We just
All right,
won.
we gotta play. So let me shuffle the cards. I'm gonna go face up, face up, face down, face down.
Okay.
Take a look at that. We got two
so
face
we
cards
each
here.
got 10. Just so you know, face cards are 10.
Yes, they know. They know.
Okay, so I get to look at
Yes,
this.
so you look. Caleb, we'll start
Bro,
with you.
I might actually... Okay.
Quit your hands like this. Like you're gonna have
Sorry,
to.
dude. Okay, you're right.
All right, you want to hit or you want to stay?
Bruh.
He's
staying.
He's staying. All right, you're staying. Okay, so he obviously has 10 here that we can see. What do you want? Hit or stay?
I'm gonna stay.
You're gonna stay. Oh shoot. Okay, they're both staying. Caleb,
stay.
show us what you got. 20. That's 20. Sean has 20. Oh, okay. All right. I don't
So
know.
we slapped Jordan with the
No.
Do we slap each other?
Slap Jordan.
No,
slap
that was the
Jordan.
warm-up round. That was the warm-up round. Time for me to do my cool card deal thing. Okay. And
We'll fix it in post.
yes, fix it in post. One up,
Fish up.
one up,
Oh.
one down,
dang.
one down.
I don't. Ugh.
Okay. I'm going first?
Yep.
What do you mean, what?
No,
I
just
did
go.
first last
Do you
time.
want to go?
Okay, hit me.
And when you're thinking, you should do
Oh,
that
you're
with your
right,
chips.
right. I just
Yeah.
need to get my.
It's all gonna get slimy. Hit. Boom.
Okay. Do I keep going?
If you
want
want, you can keep going. You don't have
Caleb
to.
has a great poker face,
Okay,
as you can
okay.
tell.
This is 12
I'm
right
gonna
here.
stay.
This
I'm
is
gonna
12.
stay.
Yeah,
You're gonna
I think you
stay.
should say. So whatever. This is 12.
Yeah, I'm
okay,
staying.
he's staying. Sean.
Hit me.
Okay, that's a
Oh.
2 and a 3, so we got 5. Did you forget what that was and you had to look again? It's 5! You couldn't have got a lower card!
I did it for dramatic effect.
Okay.
Sure, and I forgot.
Okay, what is it?
Okay. Hit me again.
Oh, did you go over? Maybe. Did he bust?
Yeah.
He went over 21, that's a bust!
I played it so much.
That means Caleb has 1 point, which gets. All right, so the first slap, hold on, one rule. First slap of the fish, just a little kiss.
Okay.
The first one always
You gotta lean in, bud.
You gotta lean up and it's just introducing the
This
fish.
is actually my first kiss.
Hello, this is Charles. Charles meet Sean.
it made a slippy noise. It went. Okay,
How did it feel?
I don't like Charles.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play first one to slap someone 5 times. So we're gonna move
Alright,
this.
okay.
So Sean, we're gonna start with you now.
Okay.
1 up. Caleb, 1 up.
Okay.
1 down. 1 down.
goes
Sean showing 6. Caleb showing 8. What do we got, Sean?
Hit me.
You want hit?
Yep.
Boom. That's a 10. You're showing 16.
That's unfortunate.
Is that a bust? It's a busted. Okay.
I won!
Okay, I hate to see it. He went over 21. which means
22, 8, 21, boys. Come here. Lean in. I'm going a little
You
harder.
gotta lean in.
Going a little harder, okay?
Yep. Oh my gosh, did that hurt? That sounded like it hurt.
I think that was his eyeball that went.
Eye to eye. It was a beautiful moment, and that actually sounds
Is my skin glistening?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, fish oil is really good for you, I hear, right?
But this is definitely
isn't that
fish
right?
juice and not oil.
Yeah, that's back to weights. Okay,
Okay.
1 up, you got 2. 1 up.
Remember, he almost went pro.
1 down, 1 down. Sorry. 1 down. Caleb, you're only showing 2.
yeah.
What do you want to do?
Oh, hit me, baby.
Hit me. That's 4 plus 2 is 6. What do you want?
Dude, hit me!
That's. Did you go over?
Stop me, baby.
Let's go.
It's just a kiss.
Why?
It's just a kiss?
Yeah, you gotta
Oh,
go
at
first.
15, he got hit. 25. All right, first one's just a kiss.
I didn't mean literal kiss. I didn't mean a literal kiss.
What do you mean by...
Think of that. Okay,
then.
give me that. Oh boy, this is. I don't know.
Smooching.
Okay, so we started with Caleb that
I
time.
want you to know I have not had my first kiss yet, too, so does that count?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
You
Her
saw it
name-
here.
Her name is Bertha.
Both boys had their first kiss tonight.
This is making me like
It
cough.
smells so bad.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so Sean,
Sean goes first.
you're call.
I'm gonna stay.
Stay. Oh, gonna stay. What do we got?
Bruh.
Hit me. That's a 9 plus 15. That's 14 showing.
Staying.
You're gonna stay. Sean, what do you got?
Fish slap.
That's a blackjack.
That's a freaking. Oh, it's not. Dang it.
Yeah, he beat you.
It's 11.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Bro,
Sean,
are you kidding?
you could have said that when you first got it.
Oh, really?
But that's okay. It's more dramatic that way.
Hey.
No,
He's
if I
drooling.
If I get to 21, I can also do that.
Well, I don't know, but
All right,
just slap him.
let's go.
2 to
Ready?
2. Oh, okay, all right. There's a fish. Okay, all right. Tied 2 to 2. We're gonna move this a little bit quicker.
It's in my beard.
Would you like to cut the deck? Great.
I can't get on these hands, dude.
Guys, your hands are already gonna get slippery. It's
Okay,
fine.
okay.
Just wipe it off. Sean's fingerprints are still there. Okay, Caleb, one
they
up.
are.
Sean, one up.
Oh,
One
okay.
down, one down. What do you want?
Stay.
You're staying.
Hit me.
Okay, so you've got an ace can be, I didn't say this, an ace can be an 11 or a 1 to its first no. You want hit, boom. You're showing 3 or what am I doing? 13, 14, sorry. I'm not a math teacher. What do you want?
Wait, no, it is 13.
No, it's not. 11, 12, 13. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay, what do you want? He's staying.
I'm staying.
Dang it. Hit me.
Okay, oh my gosh, he really thought about that.
He did.
No, you're no way. Wait, no, that could be a 1. That could be a 1. Are you okay?
Oh,
Yeah, but that's not.
Oh!
boy.
Caleb, 3 to 2. Give him a
I
slap.
have 20.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh, wait.
No.
Oh, no.
No,
Sorry.
no, you're not. All right, so this is slap number 3, so we can get a real slap.
hold
I
on.
want you to lean in here. All right, everybody at
This
home,
is for you, Team
pucker up.
Caleb.
Woo! Oh, you were actually hitting him.
What? I had to hit him.
Caleb's abusive toward the fish.
I did not hit him that hard.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled time for me to shuffle.
It's like on my. You know what this smells like? It smells like high school when I was dissecting a frog.
It definitely
Oh, it
does
does.
smell like you,
Yeah.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyway.
Okay, sorry, I just got to shuffle. Sorry, I'm sorry, everyone. Okay.
Can we
What's
get like a
it?
zoom in?
Just like how I intended. All right, Caleb, we're starting with you.
All right, here we go.
Pro.
1 up. That's an
Oh,
ace.
baby!
That's nice. 1 up for you.
Thank you, sir.
1 down for you. And 1. You like how I'm holding it
Okay,
too?
okay. Am I going first?
I watched a YouTube video on how to deal. Yes, you're going first.
Okay, I'm going to get hit.
Hit me. Boom.
My coins!
Okay, my coins. 6 or.
Okay, I'm gonna hit me.
16. You want to hit?
Hit me.
Oh, that could be a 1 though. So you're
okay,
good.
okay.
So we've got that's
wait,
10,
let me
that's
just-
15, that's probably 16.
Okay. Yep.
Are you good?
I'm gonna stay.
All right, he's gonna stay. Dang.
I'm ripping up the table right now.
Okay, stop. Our nice table.
Hit me.
That's only 5.
Yeah, I'm.
It's a 3 and a 2 again.
He got it right.
He got it
Sean's
right.
really
everybody.
concerned about this here. Okay, go ahead.
Sure, are you turning into a math teacher? Hit me.
Yes, I am. Boom. Oh, that's another 2. So we're only showing
I
7.
should have. Oh.
Yeah, you could. Oh, that told him something about his
I'm
deck.
bad at bluffing,
That totally
boys.
told something about he wanted a 2.
Dude, dude, I don't know what to do. Okay. I'm gonna stay.
Okay.
You're gonna stay.
Okay.
I bet
Ready?
you have 17, but go ahead. That's my guess. Go ahead. You
So,
have.
okay, 10,
Yes.
6, or
Oh,
15.
why did I do that?
16,
Yep.
then 18.
18. You got.
17.
Oh my gosh!
I shouldn't have done that.
That's 4!
That's for slapping a fish.
All right, here we go. It's a little harder, buddy, okay? Wait, you've already gone really
Yeah, you've
hard.
gone pretty hard. We can't go much harder,
Okay,
Caleb.
okay.
Caleb looked at me like, oh!
That wasn't any harder than the last one was.
Let's play again.
Oh!
One more.
Oh, boy.
One more
Okay.
for Team Caleb!
All right, wait, who started that? You did. So we're going here,
Yep.
and then we're going here.
Ew, do you see that
Then we're
little
going
cuss, boy?
That's.
Ew, that's.
Oh, camera team. I want to.
We got a fish loogie! Ew,
Oh.
Jordan!
What?
That's gross!
That was on my face.
Okay, sorry. And then you. Sean, what do you want to do?
Okay.
You've got 5 showing.
Hit me.
Yeah? Boom. That's another 5, so we're showing 10.
I'm gonna stay.
He's going to
I'm
stay.
also gonna stay. So
You're
I
going to
reveal?
stay. No, he goes.
Okay.
He reveals. Sean stayed at 19.
That's a fish flap for 20, baby!
That's it. That's the game. That's it. Okay, wait. Hold on. This is the last
Okay.
fish slap. Hey, everybody, give up a clapping emoji for my man
Here
Caleb
we go,
in the
bring
chat.
it in, boy, bring it in. Here we go.
Oh, I got some of that in my hair. Oh, boy. Sean, what are you doing?
hey.
Sean, what are you
Spreading
doing?
bird.
Okay, all right. Hey, thank you. It was on his neck. It was on. Look at the camera. Hold on. Look at that. Someone please look at that. Can we get that? Oh my gosh. Okay, before things digress a little bit more, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this game show, trust me when I say you're gonna love the next one. It's time for 10-second game show.
What's up, guys? Hey, it's time for your favorite 10-second game show. 10-second game show where we're bringing on one of your students from Students Red to play a 10-second game show. Welcome, Connor Shim. What's up, Connor?
What's up? What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you ready to win, Connor?
Yes, sir.
As always, as we always do, we don't play for just like little things here. At 10-second game show, we're playing for only the highest stakes. Connor, we know you love V-Bucks, okay? So guess what?
Okay.
We are gonna give you your award in V-Bucks, all right? So if you get one question right, we're doing a special round. Instead of just doing one, we're gonna do 3 separate questions. If you get one, you get a whole $5 in V-Bucks. Whoa, that's like a half a skin,
my
okay?
gosh.
But guess what? If you get 2,
So much.
guess how much you get if you get 2?
10?
You get 10, but if you get 3, you get 15. Just kidding, you only get 20. Actually, okay, so if you can get all 3 of these, you'll get 20 V-Bucks and you'll impress all your friends with how cool you look in the virtual space. So here's how it's gonna work, Connor. I'm gonna read you a question. You're gonna have multiple choices, A through D options. You'll have 10 seconds to pick your answer. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here's question number 1. What is the technical name for the hashtag sign? Is it A, the number sign, B, the octothorpe, C, the octocacies, or 3, octarisk? All right, ready? A, number sign, B, octothorpe, C, octoses, or 3, octarisk. What's your answer? 10 seconds.
A, I guess.
A, is it the number sign? I'm sorry. The correct answer was B, the octothorpe. So next time you
Okay.
can put hashtag octothorpe under whatever pic you're going to post. Okay, second question. You're 0 for 1, but you can still redeem yourself, Connor. Here we go. Second question. What did Beyonce name her eldest daughter? Is it A? Is it A, Blue Ivy? Is it B, Tia? Is it C, Zen? Or is it D, East? Again, that's A, Blue Ivy, B, Tia, C, Zen, or D, East. 10 seconds.
B, I guess.
D,
Oh, no.
you say D, East. Is that correct? Your final or B?
B.
B for Tia. Is that your final answer?
Yes, it is.
And the correct answer is A, Blue Ivy. I'm sorry, Connor. So far, you're not looking very hot in the virtual space here. Hopefully, your Fortnite game is better than this. Okay, but you got one more chance to redeem yourself. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here we go. Last question. After cleansing and toning, what is the next step of a proper skincare regimen? All right, is it A, exfoliate, 2, obviate, 3, face mask, or, I'm sorry, 3, C, face mask, 3, or is it D, moisturize? Again, after cleansing and toning, what is the next step of a proper skincare regimen? Is it A, exfoliate, B, obviate, C, face mask, or D, moisturize? 10 seconds.
I'm gonna say C.
He says C, face mask. Is that your final answer?
Yes, it is.
And the correct answer is D, moisturize. I'm so sorry,
I was thinking
Connor.
that.
You missed
Yeah.
all your shots today, my dude. Hopefully Fortnite is treating you better than this game.
Oh. Sorry.
That's good, man. Hey, well, thanks for joining us for 10 Second Game Show, Connor.
I'll catch you guys later. See ya.
Okay, now it's time for your weekly red alerts, where we tell you about what you need to know about. Okay, couple of quick things. First of all, as always, we have small groups immediately following service, so you can jump into those Zoom groups. We hope to see you there because it's so much better than just watching, honestly, to be with actual people. So please jump in. We want to be a family, even in the virtual space. Number 2 is we would love to stay connected with you all week through social media. Okay, so if you go to students.red on Instagram or Facebook or www.students.red, we have all of our dailies that are happening Monday all the way through Saturday. We would love to connect with you. And guess what? Last thing is that this coming week, we are going to totally do something brand new with Devos. Rather than just posting these pre-recorded videos, we're going live every single day at lunchtime. We would love to see you on students.red Instagram at noon every day, Monday through Friday. We can't wait. We'll see you guys this week.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dave, for bringing us our red alerts and doing the 10-second game show to us. Best of luck next time, Connor. Unfortunate there. But Caleb and I have some bad news for you guys this week. A little bit sad, kind of bittersweet.
Oh, it's not. It's bittersweet. It's exciting, but it's also sad.
We are at the end of our OK Bet sermon series. So moment of silence. All right, moving on now. We're in the last week of it here, and we thought there was no more fitting way to end the series than by preaching a sermon finally on the most commented emoji from weeks 1 through 9 or 1 through 10, whatever we're on. Literally the most commented one. It is the Spirally Boy.
The Swirly Boy, or Spirally Boy, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But man, we've heard your cries, especially in this last post. You guys were losing your mind. It's for the Swirly Boy. I can't even say that. Surly Boy, the Spirally Boy, whatever it's called. I cannot say that word for some reason. But we're excited to preach on this. And when we first saw the Swirly Boy, I think me and Gil both thought, you know, it's like a Disney symbol. Like, I feel like in cartoons, that's like the common thing they would use. But when we looked up the meaning, it's actually a cyclone. Which is kind of weird. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and whenever I think of cyclone, so like I know it's not quite the same thing, but you think of hurricane, you think of twisters. I actually think specifically of tornadoes. So growing up in Illinois, I know like here in Pittsburgh, we don't get a lot of tornadoes really, or if we do, it's a big deal. But back there, like in Illinois, it's a lot more common. You see them a lot more. And I remember specifically, I don't know if it was like 1995 when the movie came out, but there was a movie called Twister.
Ooh, classic.
That literally captured, I don't even know if it's a good movie. I haven't seen it in like
all I remember
17
is that
years.
scene where he's holding onto the pole and he's like, go!
Yeah, they're like a twister's coming through and they're just like, they tied themselves to a pole and they get through it and then the movie
I guess that
ends.
works.
Yeah, I don't know. That's some advice that you can, I guess, take if you're in a twister. But I remember watching it and I remember thinking as like an 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, I was like, I'm gonna be a storm chaser. So I literally would ride my bike around the neighborhood whenever I heard a tornado was coming. And my parents, specifically my mother, did not like that very much. And unfortunately, I never found the tornado. My storm chasing career was cut short. But
Gil, your poor mother. You one of a kind child.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay, so I know for me, when we're talking about storms, I'm kind of the exact opposite. I did not go out, but I would want to sleep during a storm. When there's a thunderstorm, I mean, even now, when it's thunderstorming, I love sleeping. It's just like the most relaxing thing. So comment below in the chat if that's you as well, because I know I'm not the only one. If you like sleeping during a thunderstorm, I think it's probably one of the most relaxing things. I'm not about that chasing.
No, I do agree with that. Especially now at my old age, I agree with you.
Your storm chasing years are behind you, Gil.
They're gone. I'm an old man now. I'm retired. But whenever I think of, obviously the cyclone emoji, the thing that comes to mind for me is storms. And one of the things that we know that happens in life is storms can kind of come out of nowhere physically. Like, it can be a nice day. All of a sudden it gets cloudy and it starts to rain and hail and do all this different stuff. The same thing can kind of happen in our lives. And what happens is we could be going about our business, doing a normal thing, and then we get some really catastrophic news. Maybe it's something like your parents are getting divorced, or a friend is moving away, or it can be kind of any number of things that are external, but they can also be internal. They can also be kind of emotional. So there can be things like with depression or an anxiety. I know what it's like to be up at 2 a.m. and then feel like you get hit with a sudden burst of depression and you're like, oh, I'm not even sure like what to do with myself in this moment. You feel sluggish and slow. But those are just some different kinds of storms that can hit us.
Yeah, and there's multiple different types of storms, Gil. I mean, we're talking about when doubt hits, when you're you don't know what's true anymore, and the things that you thought were concrete are actually not. Maybe it's fear. Fear, I think, is a common one when we're hit by a storm. We're afraid of what the future looks like because we either don't know what's coming next or we're just afraid of what's coming next. Maybe there's a feeling of emptiness in a storm where there's a lack of fulfillment and satisfaction, and maybe even along those lines, maybe apathy, a lack of interest in what you're normally interested in. There's so many different types of emotions that can, hit you during an emotional storm, a storm that hits your life that maybe it's not an actual rainy storm, but a hard time in your life or a trial that you're going through. And so I think the question we all have is, how do we weather a storm? How do we get through one of those emotional times that has a lot of pain and hurt attached to it?
Yeah, and here's why we're talking about this. We know this is true, that when a storm hits us, the biggest casualty is often our own emotions. Yeah. So in order for us to answer the question, we're going to jump into the book of Matthew, specifically chapter 7, verses 24 through 27, and I'm going to read them here for you guys today. This is what Jesus said. He said, "Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And then the rain fell and the floods came and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and there was and great was the fall of it. That's very poetic.
That's good.
That was
great
the poetic
was the fall
translation.
of it.
Wow.
I love that. But here's the thing. This is a classic story. I think a lot of us have heard, especially those who have been in church for their whole lives. I mean, it's a classic story, and it's actually taken from a classic time in Jesus' life. Specifically, in where we're at, he's preaching the Sermon in the Mount, which is probably one of the most famous things Jesus ever did. And he actually concludes it with Matthew 7:24 through 27, and he's talking about this analogy of somebody who builds their house on the sand, but also somebody who builds their house on the rock. The person who builds their house on the sand, who doesn't take heed of the teachings he's talking about and the wisdom he has, man, they're building their foundation on something that can be washed away. Whereas somebody who builds their foundation on the rock, something that's solid, like God's word and Jesus' teachings, man, those people can handle a storm because the rock is consistent and it won't be blown over by the wind.
Yeah, what Jesus is really trying to get across here is that the foundation of your life, which is the house in this instance, what that's built on top of is really the most important thing. And this was said at the end of his whole message. This was like his, hey, here's my final point of my TED Talk. See you later. This was the final kind of exclamation point on all of that. So with this verse in mind, we want to give you some practical tips, and we're going to kind of carry on the storm analogy here as we give you tips. Here's the first thing that you can do if you're experiencing a storm in your life, if something is happening, whether physically or emotionally. The first thing that you want to do is you want to lock the doors and the windows. And here's what we mean by that. You don't always get to pick when a storm hits you. You know, sometimes anxiety just bursts within you, and it's hard to think clearly. And we understand that. Some really tragic news, you receive some tragic news and it hurts. We understand that you can't control the storm, but what you can do is you can prevent it from coming inside of your house. You know, it can stay outside. It might pull off some siding and pull off the shingles and maybe break a window or two, but you can still lock the doors and windows and protect what you have inside. And what we want to, I guess the analogy with that we want to encourage you to do is make sure that when you're experiencing something like that you don't open yourself up to more pain and you don't leave those things that are there. Here's a great example of that. Like whenever I would really struggle with depression and sadness, I would have a tendency to listen to sad music, and it just kind of felt right. I was like, yeah, this really helps me process this. But what that actually does is it actually backfires, and it makes the situation worse in your life because you're feeding into it. Same kind of thing if you're really tempted to be Snapchatting someone that you shouldn't be, and it's late at night. You can choose not to feed into that by having parents set a time limit on how late your phone is available or keeping your phone charging downstairs. There's certain things that you can do to safeguard, to lock the doors and windows, to make sure that the storm that you're going through doesn't get any worse emotionally for you.
Yeah, that's good. And the next point is don't panic. Now, when people are in a crisis and when they're being taught how to handle one, maybe this is for like a fire or for an intruder at a school or maybe even a shootout, as intense as that sounds, the first thing people are taught is don't panic. Now, why are they taught this? It's because when you panic, man, you're in a high emotional state, and that causes your judgment to be clouded. And when that happens, man, you're not gonna make good choices. You're not gonna make good decisions, especially when you need to make quick decisions. So emotionally, when we're in a storm, man, we need to not allow ourselves to take the high emotional state and make a decision in those moments. When we live off our emotions, man, we make bad decisions. And the reason is because emotions should not be our guide because they're not truth. They're not consistent. Our emotions will change. Like the storm is constantly changing and it's only temporary. Our emotions are constantly changing, and they're only temporary. We have to understand that. They're not truth. They're not consistent. And when we begin to understand that, man, we need to look for something that is truth. So we avoid our emotions, not avoid them, but we don't let our emotions guide us because we look to something that can guide us, something more consistent, which is the truth, which we're going to talk about now.
Yeah, and the last point that we have here is that just like in a storm, it's a really good idea for you to stock your supplies in your house beforehand. There's this really old, I don't even know where I saw it. I feel like I saw it on a Tumblr post years ago.
I feel like you kind of know Buddhist monk quotes by heart.
It's kind of random. So it's an old Chinese proverb, allegedly. I don't know if it's true, but it says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant it is now. So here's what that means for us, putting a biblical spin on it. It means that You might not be going through a storm right now, so start to stock up on your supplies, start to invest into your relationship with God, because when a storm hits, you're going to be a lot more stable and a lot more healthy because of it. And even if you're going through one right now, it's not too late to start and start to invest in that. So here's some like practical ways to do that. If you're not already memorizing the truth of Scripture, I want to encourage you to do that. Like Caleb said, emotions are temporary and they can often override our thinking. But if you take time now while you have a calm, level head to memorize the truth so that when the emotions come, you can remind yourself of that, you can pull that back in and not like give yourself over to panic like that. Another thing that you can do is you can talk to a mentor and get a group of friends that are going to challenge you spiritually and encourage you with good things. I think it would be really easy for us to go to Google and look up a bunch of stuff and be like, oh, how do I get out of this? We have all this information at the tip of our fingers. But what really makes a difference is when a person can say it into your life. There's something impactful that happens there. And then the last thing that you can do to really make sure this happens, and we say it a lot here at Red, but this is so important, it's so fundamental, and it's this: invest into your own relationship with God. You should be pursuing a devotional life with Jesus every single day, with prayer, with worship, with Bible reading, because what that does is it sets you up spiritually to be able to succeed. Because the cool thing that we believe this here at Red, all the leaders, all the pastors, we believe that God actually has something that he wants to say to you personally. Not just through me, not just through Caleb, not just through Dave or any other person, but he actually wants to say it to you. And the only way that you get that is by spending time with him.
Man, that's so good. When we're in an emotional storm, we have to understand and recognize what we just talked about here. And let me just say this: the storm you're going through, the struggle you have, the hardship you're going through, man, God can pull you through that. You can get through this. And again, let me just run through this again. The first thing is you gotta lock the doors and the windows. Second thing is you can't panic. Don't panic. And the third thing is you gotta make sure you stock up on your supplies. With these things, man, you can get through a storm. God can pull you through the storm you're going through right now. We both believe that. So let's close in prayer. God, we thank you so much for who you are, that you are a consistent God, that when storms come and emotions are high, we know that you will never change, that you will always be the same. And we take rest in that fact. We are so in awe of who you are, because you are always who you say you are, no matter what. Your promises are true. So we take rest in that today. We say our emotions are not our guide, but we look to you to be our guide. And in this storm, we know and believe that you can pull us through these things. We thank you so much for who you are, God, and what you're doing here at Red. And we just pray freedom over everyone who's going through a storm in these seasons. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Red TV. A couple reminders here before we let you go. First and foremost, we have online small groups happening right after this. Ooh. If you don't know what your Zoom code is, DM us on Instagram and we will send you the appropriate one. Just make sure to tell us what grade you're in and what campus you're from, and we can get those to you. And then the last but not least thing that we want to say here is, and I'm sure some of you maybe even asked this in the chat, but if we're done with OK Bet, what's happening next? Well, the good news is we're actually beginning a new series next week called Red Mixtapes.
Hey-o.
We're going to analyze the message behind a bunch of different popular songs today. So if you have some songs that you want us to analyze and unpack the meaning of, do us a favor, DM it to us on Instagram so we can add those to our list.
Oh yeah, we got some fun stuff going on. But this has been Caleb and Gil, and we're gonna sign off for tonight.